tips of the wings as you were coming by. It was one of those things that where I said if I ever get a chance, I was gonna go over there and see if I could buy these cars.
However, the urban legend also said that the guy that owned the car was a lunatic who would sick his dog on you and kill you if you went up and so much as knocked on the door and asked about him. So Mike never did.
We decided to build a Daytona clone. So we get our parts together on the tail end of the car. Well, when it comes to the front end of the car, I have no idea how to hang this fiberglass nose on it. So I discussed it with a guy that I met at the post office. He's an old gearhead buddy of mine. He said, you know what? He said, why don't you go around to the guy's house and show him that you're actually working on a wing car by taking your parts, and you might have a chance of getting a look at his car.
And he did just that. He collected the few parts that he had questions about, got his son in the car, and they went over to the guy's house.
Sure enough, he met me at the door. He comes out the door and says, can I help you? I go around to the back of my truck and I quickly grab the fiberglass nose cone, hold it up to show him, hey, I've got parts here. And he says, what can I help you with?
After Mike explained to him it was a father-son project that they were working on together, I think that softened the blow to the old man, and he says, yeah, if you want to take some pictures, go take some pictures.
We get out of the truck, we start heading back to the woods, and as I look back in the woods, I see two Superbird wings, just as plain as day.
He spent some time with his camera taking all the necessary photos of the bottom side of the Superbird, figuring out how the pieces go together. While he was doing that, his son, Michael, was over visiting with the old man.
And he asked my son, he says, well, what else do you guys do? Well, I help my dad work on cars. We motocross ride together. And I mentioned, I said, you know, I teach my son the old school stuff. Little did I know that kind of struck a good feeling with the old guy. You know, when we went to the truck, I thanked him for his time. I reached across the dash and I got one of my business cards. And I also got a $10 bill that I had there in the ashtray, and I handed him both of them. And I said, hey, I want you to keep this. And he said, well, what's this for? I'm giving you that $10 so you don't throw away my business card, because I know these are your children, and I know that they're yours and you want to keep them. But if for any reason you ever decide you want to sell them, those cars are very rare and they're worth a lot of money. I'll be willing to give you your price for them. And that's all I said. We didn't talk price. It was just, I'll give you your price for them.
So after a few months, out of the blue, Mike gets a phone call from the guy that owns the cars saying, are you still interested in these things?
I've considered selling you these cars under two reasons. Number one, you don't take these cars and resell them. He says, because my second condition is, you guys being a father-son team, he says, I want to see you end up with one bird, and I want to see him end up with one bird.
Mike made the promise and kept the promise and ended up getting the cars from him. You know, stories like Mike's, these are the fabrics that make up our life. At least my life and the generation of the people that I hang out with and that I grew up with. I love that Graveyard Cars can go now and tell these stories and bring to life other people's history and other people's memories. I'm honored to be a part of this project.